Hi everyone, welcome to Ethernal Realms and welcome to this reading. We will see what your dreams are trying to tell you. We have pile 1 over here, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. Make sure to choose your reading with your intuition. If you're not sure how, the video will guide you through it. It's in the ribbon above, and once you've made your choice, the timestamps are there so you can skip ahead to your relevant reading. So we'll get started whenever you're ready. Hi pile 1, welcome to Ethernal Realms. Let's get started and see what your dreams are trying to tell you. I will first get some charms. It's been a while since I've used them, so let's see what comes up. We might get some symbolism here already. So let's see. Pile 1, what are the dreams trying to tell them? Pile 1, dreams. Okay, quite a few in there. So there is a lock. We have a key as well, lock and a key, so it talks about a solution. We have a star, we have lotus, this angel, we have a dragonfly, and we have a fairy sitting on a moon. So let me zoom in so you can see a bit better. Yes. Okay, so quite a few divine charms going on here. Obviously the fairy sitting there kind of protecting or watching over you is part of the symbolism. And we have lotus, so it could be that you've seen a lot of flowers. It could be any of these images here: the moon, flowers, little fairies and angels, or stars, the sky, universe, dragonflies, butterflies, and lock and key, feeling trapped somewhere, but then by the end of the dream, you are escaping, or you get up and that is the escape. Things like that could have come up. But regardless of the exact details, the message here is that you are being protected and guided, and that there is some transformation taking place here, which is going to unlock new doors and opportunities for you. So because it's a phase of transition, your guides are more active at this time, and perhaps you get more vivid dreams around this time. I'm continuously seeing a color pink. Not sure, it might not resonate for everyone, but it's feeling pink, and that also symbolizes pure love and unconditional love. It's on the level of being transcendental even, but it really is that innocent, loving influence that I'm feeling. So either way, that is what is kind of protecting you and also nudging you along. There is a rebirth taking place as well. So this here, it reminds me of a kingship, leadership is what I'm continuously feeling with this here. It makes me think of King of Wands and the Emperor. So there is an authority figure that you are stepping into. You're being the leader of your own life, taking more initiative, feeling more bold and courageous moving forward. It's like a heightened resolution that you are doing the right thing. With the star here, it is a symbol that says keep going, and keep on going, you will be successful in unlocking your solutions. Okay, let's get into some of the cards so that we can get some more specific details of what this could mean for you. Actually, I'm going to begin with the Spacious Tarot. So for pile 1, please, what are their dreams trying to tell them? Pile 1's dreams. Yeah, we have the Sun coming up. This again talks about clarity and solution. Let me just leave this out here because I might keep referring back to that. So yeah, with the Sun, optimism as well, blessings, abundance coming through, connects with the star element and also the key. If I go a little bit more esoteric or spiritual, then it also talks about connecting with your soul or receiving soul and spiritual guidance, because the Sun then represents the higher authorities, not only our parents or our bosses. Okay, what else do we have for pile 1? What are their dreams telling them? You could have seen a literal sunflower, so the imagery that you find here, it could have played a part in your dreams. We have 8 of Swords. This is that lock situation. So anywhere that you're feeling trapped and as though you have no control or no say over the situation, that's where this clarity is coming through. This includes patterns of self-doubt and feeling insecure, left out in the cold, misunderstood, things like that. There is more with the Sun, I feel warmth and companionship. There can also be a generosity and wealth of like-minded people around you, or it also speaks that you don't care about your limitations anymore because you're finding success in that particular aspect. Okay. Pile 1, please. Pile 1's dreams. We have Page of Pentacles, which talks about having many opportunities, finding opportunities, creating them as well, kind of experimenting, being curious, exploring. There could be a wide field where you saw many flowers. Green also pertains to the heart. That's really sticking out. This can talk about some opportunities coming up ahead of you. Again, opening up a new doorway, opening up a new space for you to explore. And because you're transitioning there, they're kind of watching over you or protecting you through the process so that you arrive fine and happy. We have, come on. We have the Judgment here, which is very inherently spiritual in nature. And it is literally in the image kind of talking towards crossing a threshold, walking through a doorway and finding so many opportunities on the other side. It talks about walking towards your spiritual purpose. So the message I was getting earlier that your guides or your soul might be trying to communicate with you is again coming up. But it is also kind of the subconscious mind's way of putting this idea or thought in your conscious mind, because the Sun represents the conscious and the Judgment is super conscious. So yeah, there is definitely some communication here with the universe here, some direct messages coming through, some clues about where you should be headed. So the exact surroundings or the people that are there or the feelings that you have, things like that could align with your spiritual purpose, and your dreams are trying to tell you how you can get there, basically. I will take one more. Okay. We have 6 of Cups. Yeah, could have been on a beach or water, giant field. Wow, okay. There could have been some old friends or revising of some old memories. Could have been like past difficult memories that come around, or like meeting childhood friends under tough circumstances or something. That could have been also part of your dream. But that is a way of the mind's working through the process of healing and regenerating and understanding the past, kind of making it fit someplace. So instead of, so in the conscious mind, we would think, I'm going to release that memory. But in the subconscious, it would be, something like, let's lash out and block this person out completely, things like that. So it's a little bit more dramatized, of course, but it is dramatic because it needs to grab our attention. Okay, so for pile 1, what else can we get? Wow, okay. So this one was ready. We have Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, this is, again, working through the difficulties bit by bit so that there is more stability in the mind, more clarity as well. This can also relate with the Page of Pentacles. Some opportunities are coming through. So, they will come in due time, but it is definitely coming. It is well deserved, and the work that you put in now is going to bear results. So if you're trying to get elsewhere and you've put in a lot of work and it's been quite a while that you're doing this, then this seems like there is your liberation here. Judgment literally talks about freedom and liberation, and 8 of Swords is the shackles that we're trying to get away from. Okay, some more please for pile 1. Okay, we have 8 of Wands. Wow, okay, so this talks about movement as well, so traveling, some information coming through, some conversations you have, things like that. So if you were talking to someone in this dream, maybe try to remember the exact words. It could be someone related to from your childhood. It might not be in your conscious memory, but of course it can be for some. But either way, the message is in itself is something important here. It might be a little bit cryptic and it's not as literal as it is said. So kind of think about that. You will find the answers, it seems like. What else? It talks about opportunities, like I was getting earlier, and positive results coming through for you in the future. Then we have Four of Cups. So if you've been feeling uninspired at this time and as though things are not moving fast enough and that you've been trying but you keep on hitting, more locks upon locks, then this here is saying again that your breakthrough is coming about and there is going to be a closing and movement into the next chapter. It's about time, I keep hearing. Okay, let's see. Pile 1, please. What else are their dreams trying to tell them? There could be some inspirational messages as well. Could be something that someone said, but it could also be like a nice view that is kind of refreshing, a change of space, a change of mindset, things like that. We have discernment here. So this points to critical thinking and laying down like healthy boundaries. So once again, it seems like it's the mind's way of working through the things that it needs to let go. There are butterflies coming up again, so it talks about metamorphosis and regeneration. Discernment is again practicing, kind of learning from the past and applying that to the present. And then moving forward into the future, kind of working with the timelines here, past you, present you, and the future you, such that you were doing right by both of these, three of these timelines rather. Four of Cups can tend to stick to things that are not yet here and also look back to the past a lot, and that's where it can feel dissatisfied and stuck. So with these Eight of Wands and the Sun, it kind of looks like a new perspective is coming through that is going to be very healing and helping for you to move away from past traumas and difficulties, or like attachments that you've had with people or places, things like that, kind of helping you work through that so that you can focus on the right now. Because the Page of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, they are like focusing on what you're doing at this very moment, putting in all the dedication, determination, and effort and focus from your side, and then leaving the uncontrollable forces to nature. So they're not rushing, but they definitely get there. They definitely reach their goals, right? One more, please. We have Spirit of Place. Okay, so it could be, I did say conversation you might have had, but where you are having this conversation can also be noteworthy. For some of you, again, it could be a past home, or it could be with past friends, kind of a place that you remember, things like that. It could be reminding you of that because there is a lesson to be taken from there, or something is trying to be revived here. Because the Spirit of Place is sort of like, even if you are not in that physical place right now and you perhaps have no scope of returning there, you still carry a part of it with you. So I feel like if you are feeling nostalgic and you feel upset or you're missing someplace, this is basically saying that you have that place in you, and it's in your mind. It's closer than ever. That's what I'm getting. Spirit is like something that surrounds you. It's within you, it's outside of you, it's kind of different from you, but also integrated. So I know it's a bit abstract, but the card itself is a bit abstract, right? But yeah, you can talk with your people from over there if you've become distant from certain friends. That could help you out. But it can also be that, you can travel there if you can. And if you cannot do any of these things, then you still carry it with you. Like, none of these are mandatory and you're not separated from anything. Eight of Swords has this illusion. It is fearful and insecure because it has the idea of separation from everything and everyone else. So that's why it feels like it is alone and that no one is going to understand it and things like that. But by doing so, they're locking themselves in, right? There is someone there. It's a perception. That's basically what I'm saying here, is that, you know, we are connected with all the places that we've been. We were there once because there was something to connect to. There is a level of relatability. So, or relatability, okay? Either way, we know what we are and what we are not. That's why we have a sort of connection, whether that is of opposition or of harmony. Either way, there is some type of relationship. Therefore, the spirit is always with you if you want it there. If not, that's why we need to process it and kind of let the past be where it lives, things like that. So there is a level of creating boundaries and practicing discernment, but also there is a fluidity of that in compassion that comes through as well. So all in all, again, I will go back to healing and awareness of everything, sort of. Okay, so finding, like, if you are feeling uninspired, you find inspiration from the past. If you feel like it was what has happened to you in the past is wrong, then now there is more clarity, a change in perspective, and that brings to resolution. Either way, you're resolving something, you're healing through something, and you're learning a great deal from the past, and your mind is kind of working through all of that. So, and it's kind of mixed in with the spiritual body as well. There could have been some fated encounters or events that have taken place in certain places, and you might be recollecting that. Or if you're not working through that currently, then the mind is kind of doing the processing for you here and trying to find the clarity for you. Okay, great. Let's do your extra dice. Taiwan dreams. What else are they trying to say? We have Pluto, 11th house, and Aries. Yeah, it could be a past friend or a network you used to have. End of a friendship, perhaps. So if there have been ego conflicts of sorts, or like impulsive decision making, and there is like regret or guilt, then that's what is trying to be worked out here. So you could take the initiative and go talk to this person, or it just talks about initiating a sort of bond again, so that everything is kind of put to an ease. Whether you continue the friendship or you just leave it as it was, there is still a sense of resolution. Pluto is deeply connected with the subconscious mind and also relates with the shadows. So again, coming back to the insecurities, there could have been certain fears that came up there, and it was surprising for you to see that. But it is, again, trying to work through that this is a fear, this is not reality. So it tries to kind of take it out of the subconscious so that it is processed by the conscious mind, and we can be alerted that, hey, that was a fear of mine, or something like that. What else? It also brings about transformation. By doing that, the subconscious and the unconscious inevitably is going to remain healthy by, purging what is not real. There could have also been clarity of your future visions and goals. But like I said, a childhood hobby or an interest that was lost once, that kind of comes back around and kind of shows up that, remember, you used to do this. Things like that. It's quite easy to forget certain things. It could even go as far back as your first friend in childhood. And that could be surprising. What else? Definitely there's... Aries, by the way, corresponds with the Emperor and King of Wands vibe that I was getting earlier. And again shows that boldness and courage that is also coming through. I also feel a lot of support, and it's very deep. We saw 8 and 8, by the way. There is a heightening of abundance as well coming through. Definitely positive resolution taking place. You're wrapping things up. That's what Pluto loves to do. That's kind of its job, and letting the toxicities go, everything that inhibits growth go, and allowing everything that is authentic to remain and thrive. Okay, so that's what I have for you, pile 1. Thank you so much for being here. I really hope the messages resonated and that they help you out. Let me know your thoughts, and if you want a personal reading, you can reach me via Etsy. The link is in the description box in the comment below. I will see you some other time. Until then, take care. Bye. Hi pile 2, welcome to Ethernal Realms and welcome to your dream interpretation. So I will first use some charms. It's been a while since I've used them, so let's see what we get for you. Pile 2's dreams, please. What are they trying to tell pile 2? Okay. So we have a hummingbird, a squirrel, okay, and a bat, and a lion. We have a button and a feather. So you have a lot of animals and birds. Could have been a zoo setting or wildlife, kind of focused more on nature basically, is what I'm getting. Let me just zoom in here. Yes, okay. So connects with some abundance for sure with the leaf there. Talks about fortune. There is pride involved and also leadership and regality. With the squirrel, it's about thinking fast, moving fast, and also like you're kind of sensitive. And also, I'm not sure if this is like a universal superstition or something, but there is one where if you hold a squirrel's tail, if you manage to catch it, then you're going to be really lucky for, I don't know, for some time, I suppose, but there is luck involved again. And with bat, I'm getting that extra sensory power, so like seeing differently, kind of being able to sense things, being more sensitive basically to things that are not visible to the normal eye. So it could be body language or someone's aura even. It could be a number of things when we talk about non-physical, right? Okay, so I'm gonna put this here and let's see what else we can get for you with the tarot. With the hummingbird, yes, again, I'm getting moving fast. There's some fast movement here. It could be a running situation, or it could be just fast developments of the story. By the way, the symbols that you are seeing here, you could have seen them in your dream. So let's see. Pile 2's dream, please. What are they trying to tell pile 2? Pile 2. Okay, we have 3 cards. Let's see. First one, we have the 8 of Wands. Interesting, 8 of Wands. Okay, let me just zoom out again. Right, then we have the 10 of Wands. All right. And we have the Hermit. Okay. 8 of Wands talks about fast movement. But the others, not so much. Perhaps you don't want to move fast. That could be one of those things. Hermit talks about the extrasensory powers that I was saying, being able to see different things. But the 10 of Wands talks about responsibilities and obligations of sort. So let me get some more cards because not really getting too much. You could have seen some beetles, by the way, in your dream. I'm also getting pigeons, the sun. All right, let's get some more cards for pile 3, please. Sorry, pile 2. Pile 2. Dreams. We have the Hierophant coming up. Pile 2's dreams. Some more. Okay, we have quite a few cards for you. We have Hierophant, then we have the Ace of Swords, and we have 10 of Cups. Then we have the 8 of Pentacles, and finally we have the Page of Wands. So it could be that 10 of Wands is talking about hard work. Okay, because we have 8 of Pentacles as well, which talks about doing your due diligence and giving fine work, being very efficient, well managed with time, resource, attention, things like that. Delivering on your expertise, working on your craft, spending time living your passions and your happiness, learning new things, discovering new skills, things like that. So it's about to get really dynamic, and it might feel like a lot. The hummingbird again is quite perceptive. It is focusing on the task at hand, but then it's also ready to move on to the next project almost immediately, to the next flower almost immediately. So as soon as the nectar is over with one, it's on to the next, things like that. So yeah, there is some type of the kingship that I was feeling is connecting with the Hierophant and the Hermit here to me, where you are very proud of what you are learning, what you are doing. Some of you could be becoming teachers here, so you are looking at how you would teach, what's your approach. It can also be spiritual clarity, because Ace of Swords talks about epiphanies. There is a shift of mentality, your mindset, or the way that you speak, the way you conduct yourself, things like that, which is bringing in a lot of blessings here. The abundance that I was getting earlier. And the button to me is corresponding with the Eight of Pentacles at this time. Like, you're putting in the work, but you're making something beautiful. So some of you could be interested in something related with handicrafts, for example, or putting in a personal touch in anything that you do. So if you're working kind of in whichever area, you kind of put in an extra bit of effort, and that is kind of spinning the wheel, sort of, even though I'm not seeing a wheel of fortune, but somehow it feels right, and it is bringing in a lot of blessings. And it does not have to be about work. It is something that you are very invested in, basically. Okay, so it can be loved ones and relationships and things like that. There could be more self-recognition and awareness, things like that, and that is kind of attracting more mates, or making you feel more charismatic. There's more clarity in what you are doing, and there is more happiness coming about. 10 of Cups is all about fulfillment and joy and feeling excited about things, feeling very blissful and in the moment as well. So definitely a lot of presence and awareness that is coming up here. So that's why the regality is like the awareness of the self, and therefore being the leader of the self type of interpretation coming through. There's definite transformation from so if you are doing a lot of work and it's getting really heavy, and kind of you have a lot of obligations and responsibilities, a lot of which are kind of laid onto you by other people and not your own creation, in that case there is clarity and removal, upheaval of those things, such that you're brought into balance and harmony within you. So there is lightness here. Even if you're going about your life, doing your routines and things like that, there is more meaning and presence to each and every moment. How is that? Because you have an inner sense of resolution here. Child of Wands is about reviving old projects which just make you feel very passionate and energetic, or discovering new projects and hobbies that are really exciting to you. It is about having a playful spirit and just looking at things from a bright perspective. The Hermit and the Hierophant are quite serious, and the 10 of Wands is also quite heavy. 8 of Pentacles is really serious, but Ace of Swords, Child of Wands, 10 of Cups, and the 8 of Wands are really light and fast moving as well. So even if there are things you must do, it is not bothering you to the point that you feel crushed or limited by it. Instead, you're having fun in the moment, and that is inviting more connections, conversations, work, whatever it is that you prioritize into your orbit, into your life. And again, that of course is enhancing your level of prosperity that you feel inside, and bringing in more orders or people, connections. It's like the personal touch again, where you can really feel connected. And I'm not really seeing a lot of networking out loud in the outside world, things like that. It's more about having a close-knit family, a group of people that you can call your own, things that you do that you can call your own, things like that. We have 10 and 10, so a lot of personal development going on here, and it is a new beginning. There are some new projects coming around. Aces are about fresh new starts, and it's just the first seed and it needs some time to fully develop. So it's an idea, but we need to carry it forward and do something about that. So it can speak that these collections of charms and the Eight of Wands can talk about you will suddenly have a lot of ideas and it might make you feel like there's a lot to do and that you need to take your time with it. That's also another interpretation that I'm getting here. But the cards are sort of like, take your time. You don't need to rush. You just need to be efficient. These two things are really efficient. The hummingbird and the squirrel. They're very focused, but they're also really, really fast. And that's kind of like the Ace of Swords. Okay. Wow. Yeah, you could have seen some bees, wasps, crescent moon, a rainbow. Yeah, the sky could have been quite noteworthy. I'm seeing that in 3 of these. All right. Could have been swords, some type of battle, tiresome. That could have taken place as well. Dreams are basically the subconscious's way of working things out of daily life, right? It brings to our awareness the things that we need to know in order to process the hidden background thoughts. But it does so in a bit of an exaggerated way. And sometimes, it is not as cinematic in real life, right? But yeah, that's the point here. I like that we see clarity, so it is definitely working out something in the backdrop. So if you're feeling more stressed, then it is working through that stress. You might get stressful dreams, and yeah, intuitively you might wonder that, I'm just more stressed now. I don't feel any lighter or happier, but it's more of a long-term thing. Like you see that dream, but then in a week or so you start feeling better, things like that. So, okay, what else can we know about the dreams, please? For pile 2. We have 11th house, Libra, and Uranus. Okay, so any relationship chaos and trouble with friends, one-on-one friend, that is about to go through a sort of change and come into clarity again. Uranus is the planet of revolution and epiphanies. It's the higher mind as well. So it could be the higher consciousness trying to convey a message to you, which could be a complete array of ideas. It could be sceneries and inspirations that are soothing for you so that your mind is refreshed and then you are back to working towards your vision. It is also one which is again asking you to stay focused on your long-term visions and that your wishes are possible. Okay, your wishes that you want to be in flow with is possible. And Libra is a way for the mind to create a relationship within itself. It's the zodiac of relationships and also understanding one another. So if you had any conversations with someone who is much wiser, the Hierophant and the Hermit, it could be your soul or your superconscious kind of manifesting as a different person and delivering a message to you, which would be awakening for you, kind of clear the path for you as well, bring into balance your family and friends, relationships, and also put you on the right track for work, hobbies, passions, and creativity. Okay, all in all, it's kind of bringing things into balance and really bring about some messages about your vision. It is also saying what you are working on, give it a go ahead, because 8 of Pentacles sometimes, and also with the Hermit, it talks about Virgo energy. And, there can be a tendency to be very critical with Virgo. And yes, of course, critical thinking is super important, but, that's not the end answer to everything. We need to put in the work, but we can't keep on finding faults because nothing is ever really perfect. It's just an illusion. So if you're finding yourself feeling crushed because of this inner critic, then this here is saying make friends with it and try to kind of work with it. There's an air of diplomacy. It's not one that leads. We need to be in coherence with all the aspects of us. So the mind is sort of trying to communicate this to you here, or the soul actually, not really the mind. Okay, what else can we get for pile 2 viewers, please? What are the dreams trying to tell them? Okay. So first we have belonging. Yeah, the friends and family situation, kind of looking at your roots. Also that crescent moon coming up, so it could have been a nighttime vision for you. In the dream as well, it was nighttime. And we have literally the card dream. Yeah, so this was talking about that cinematic thing that I was mentioning earlier, that usually it's not as cinematic in real life. So this is a dream. There will be some exaggerated images. There could be like literally in this image, it's a hot air balloon, but then there's a bunny's head, like how? So ridiculous things could have come up. For sure, like it does happen, but you know, break them down into the separate symbolism that are there and kind of search about them separately if you know you want to make sense of this, because with the belonging here, it looks like a web and there are many little bits of information throughout your dream. So try to think back and kind of see what exactly the specifics were. It talks about the feelings, for example, is important to note. Like some people are not afraid of bats, meanwhile some people are. How you feel about squirrels, some lions and things like that can also help you understand what vibe the message is. These different pieces of information then is going to help you understand the bigger image at large. Okay, but it does relate with your kind of finding your own place within yourself, finding clarity, understanding, and harmony within yourself. So any differences, any sense of inner conflict and overburdening and stresses are trying to liberate themselves. There is like a root cause for all of these separate events that might be taking place in the external world or are taking place in the inner mind that is trying to be worked out. But the farther we kind of suppress it, or the farther away in the past something is, it takes a little bit much longer than, you know, to heal that or to figure it out even. Okay. All right. So I want to shuffle one last time, please, for parental readings. With Pisces, Venus in the 7th house, yeah, again, one-on-one relationships is coming about. It could be a past friend or a past relationship that has not worked out, or there have been some sacrifices that have been made in a current relationship that are leaving you feel a little bit threatened maybe, or burdened about something. Because Pisces is a very selfless zodiac, and that with Venus is like it can give a lot but does not ask for anything in return, but then the inner self feels burdened by it because that's not fair to you either, and everything tries to find a balance. The 7th house is where Libra sits, so everything here in this dream is trying to find a sense of balance and resolution. So look to the conversations you had, if any, and with whom it was, which can give you an idea of where the balance is trying to be struck. Okay, so that's what I have for you, pile 2. Thank you so much for being here. I really hope the messages resonated and that they help you out. Let me know your thoughts, and if you want a personal reading, you can reach me via Etsy. The link is in the description box and the comment below. I will see you some other time. Until then, take care. Bye. Hi pile 3, welcome to Ethernal Realms. Welcome to your reading. Let's get into your charms first so we can get some symbols that could have appeared in your dream and also get the overall vibe, and then we get into the tarot. Pile 3's dreams, please. What are they trying to tell pile 3? Okay, we have a very embellished heart. We have a fairy, all-purpose tool. We have 2 stars and a peace symbol coming up. So peace in the heart, resolution, companionship as well for some of you, because we have 2 of these. 2 solutions, 2 ways of proceeding. There could have been 2 paths being illuminated, and it is kind of your choice. It also indicates that you have a lot of resources available for you. Also that you are protected and guided at this time. What else? So you could have seen literally stars in your dream. You might be working on something and you're looking for resources. So all-purpose tool would be like, you're repairing something of sorts. You could have seen literally the peace symbol, could have seen a heart, or you were making a heart, making a peace symbol, things like that. Or you're like working for peace, or that is the overall desire that you have. There is also, there could have been for some of you a dream of floating or flying. Yeah, it's really coming through. You could have seen a crescent moon as well. All right, let's get into some of the tarot. Let's see. Pile 3's dreams, what are they trying to tell Pile 3? Very nice. We have Ace of Wands. People who write. This can indicate that... Oh, I did not show you the close-up. Let me just show you the close-up here. Yes. Okay, I'm going to leave that there for now. So Ace of Wands can talk about being a writer, so you find new inspiration and new ideas. A lot of creative things could have happened. I'm also seeing the peace symbol, like there was, you could have seen literally clouds or rainbows, or there's like pastel colors coming up for you guys. But yeah, there could have been a lot of inspiration that came to you after this dream. It could have been also very exciting, just fun, dynamic type of dream. If you're a musician, composer, singer, writer, something like that, this is indicating that there are some new projects coming up. And if you're not that, then this is talking about finding more energy and stamina in the near future. We also have the Knight of Wands. This is a very interesting card. I was reading the book and it talks about how this is a very fierce knight, because they have the choice of using this sharp bit, the wand. Instead, they're using a blunt force, and they're going by ferocity and force, basically. So there's a lot of energy that you have, a lot of force and gravitas that you have that is going to get into motion soon. Okay, so like I was getting with the all-purpose toolkit, is that you have everything that you need, and it is up to you. You have the many choices to decide how you're going to use those, or combine the many different skills to make a coherent picture. The ace is basically talking about united focus and united efforts, and the knight is all about movement. But how you move, that's what this is showcasing. It's very fierce and very bold, confident, creative again, and has a lot of charisma. Even Ace of Wands is like high chemistry, high charisma, magnetism, heads turning, things like that. So you definitely are being noteworthy in some way. Wow, we have the Magician, which is the ultimate writer card, or like the skilled card, really. So using every resource at your disposal to make magic happen, using your intentions to make something a reality. So it can seem impossible until someone does it, right? That's what the Magician is talking about here. It is about using the forces of the earth and also the intention and realization of the spirit in order to make magic happen in between here. The heart is glowing here. It talks about, it corresponds with the solar plexus, but also with the heart chakra I'm getting. So it is basically saying you're about to really focus in and go for what you really love doing. Okay, and it says that you are very talented, and this dream could have showcased your talents. You could have gone through like writing something, acting something, or some of you could be performers of some sort, because we have 2 stars kind of wanting fame and celebrity status, things like that. Could be a dream of some. And this here says that you have very strong talent and that you should keep going, or if you have already started, or that you should start moving in that direction and kind of utilizing your dreams here, or your hopes here. So we have 1 and 1 coming up, which says make the first move, take initiative, and also it indicates that new opportunities await. All right, Meanwhile, the magician takes power into his own hands and he's like, I'm going to make the opportunities myself. So yeah, technically the opportunities are waiting. Okay, so very self-confident, plenty of willpower. So there's like no backing you down if you focus in on this. Okay, it corresponds with Gemini and Mercury, so the power of the mind over all else. And also these two guys talk about fire signs. So fire and air, there's a lot of fast movement and dynamism going on. There's a lot of future developments coming about, and there's plenty of energy and motivation that is being provided to you at this time. So you keep moving towards your goals. You could have seen a feather, some of you, or a quill of sorts. The 4 elements. Okay, so what else is pile 3's dreams telling them? Pile 3's dreams. Okay, we have the Queen of Cups. This is about love, support, soothing feelings, and also being peaceful, blissful, spiritually connected. So it was a pleasant dream overall, I'm getting, even if it is dynamic. There could have been some water there as well, or this kind of talks about some loving feminine figure in your life who has maybe passed on, who is watching over you, because we do have that fairy on a crescent moon, and moon symbolized the feminine figure. So yeah, that's what's coming through. Then we have strength. So this corresponds with Leo. That relates with performance, like I was getting earlier. Also talks about living your heart and living it passionately. And also having the strength to deal with harsh circumstances or difficulties or obstacles that come along the way, because determination and power is going to get you, and willpower is going to get you through any obstacle. What else? Also, yeah, definitely relates with anything creative and artistic that you want to pursue. The Queen of Cups also relates with artistic, imaginative pursuits, relates with Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. And the strength is as well another fire sign, so definitely a lot about passion and willpower coming through for you. There's a movement forward, more like, yeah, there's a lot of courage that I feel your guides are supporting you with. They're kind of encouraging, like blowing you ahead, I hear. One more fire sign also relates with Leo and Sagittarius and Aries as well. So the Queen of Wands is very charismatic, that I was getting earlier. She is like the ideal boss, I would say, because she definitely has so much charisma and willpower. She's determined to get across any hurdle, but she also does that compassionately, which is such an amazing blend. So you're not letting the fire leave its control. Like there is a great level of skill that is needed to handle emotions and also do the right thing in an objective sense, right? So this here looks, there could be like 2 guides coming up for you, but it is also the subconscious mind's way of motivating you and encouraging you to proceed towards your goals. The Queen of Cups can also indicate certain healing. So any time that you felt discouraged regarding this interest of yours, this dream is trying to work through that and is like, keep pushing nonetheless. That's what I'm getting. And also we have 5 of Wands. Yeah, this was that conflict and tension that I was a little bit feeling at this time, that, you know, it could have been not so well received in the past if you've tried it in the past, and if not, you might be kind of thinking about how you can even incorporate that. Perhaps it's trying too much or putting too much pressure on yourself. There could be differences of opinion if you have shared this idea with someone. And also it can indicate that in your dream itself, this spark or this creativity and chemistry that I'm getting has come because of obstacles. So with the strength and stuff, strength and night, actually, it seems like you know, you went through a battle for peace or for the greater cause, but then through that battle you come out stronger, even if it's like an unpleasant storyline being developed, because, well, there's conflict and noise and whatever it is. because you are victorious, and you're victorious because you did it right using your mind and also your force, that you are successful, and through that you learn a lot about yourself. So conflict could have been the backdrop, but ultimately what you gain from this dream is a lot of inner fortitude, strength, as well as the combination of an acceptance. Yeah, combination and the acceptance of the instinctual nature of a human being, and also giving it a higher consciousness, which says that you're not limited by it. Of course, instinct is a very, very key aspect of being born here, being in this body, and so on. But so is the spirit or the conscious. We have a mind and we can use that. So the magician and all of these fire elements, it could have been a really fast and quick dream, but perhaps very impactful. Seeing a certain scene, a burst of a flame, burst of something, a spark, again, could have happened, and it could be kind of showing you different ideas, perhaps not directly through the dream, but following in the following days. But I feel it's just going to, at first, come up as tools, quite literally. So, you get a toolkit, that's it. You don't have an idea of what you are wanting to build or anything, you just have a toolkit. But then that's when we need to listen to the passion, like what would fire us up right now? What would make us feel so connected and also fired at the same time? Is the question. And once you find that, you will see that all of the resources are already here, so you can immediately get on to making your dreams come true. So yeah, the Five of Wands could first be like, what do I do with that? Feeling a little bit awkward with things that come. And that's also quite natural with the Aces, because they are completely new things, perhaps not tried in the scale that you are about to now, or not seen in the way, not delivered in the way that you have experienced before, but definitely show great chances of promise. But because they're so new, it's kind of hard to really intuitively know right away how things are going to work. So that's why I like that we have a lot of stamina and willpower, and definitely a lot of inner and outer strength, emotional as well as physical. Very nice. It's as though your guides would love to like bolster you, and as if that's what they are doing from the backdrop. What else can we know from pile 3's dreams, please? We have Neptune, which is the planet for dreams and imagination. We have Aquarius, which is the zodiac of the higher mind. And we have the 6th house. So working for humanity, that could be a thing. Perhaps you are working with technology, but you want to kind of reorient or repurpose it to benefit other people. You're perhaps providing certain services to others, and you want to do something that is more imaginative, creative, dreamy, and so on. There could really be kind of writing, journalism, things like that, aiming at the public view, networking your talents more, and putting in proper focus in that direction. Neptune is really the dream state. It's the illusory thing. And again, it could have been a dream that just came and went away, and it doesn't, specific symbols might not have stuck out to you. By the way, seeing 2 flowers, so you could have seen certain flowers. But yeah, certain symbols, apart from a lot of it could have like not made sense, or it went by really fast. But the brain itself is trying to make sense of it, first of all. And secondly, those bits of symbols that you do remember, that's resource enough. Aquarius can have a tendency to overthink things, because it has a perspective, it has a mental pattern, and it has an understanding of the outside world. So for it can be difficult to believe that what it has already decided, or that it has already built or trained for, and so on, is completely wrong, because it's a fixed sign. But it feels as though this particular dream is trying to shake that up and kind of show you that there are many different ways that we can look at this situation, or there are possible other solutions here, like I was getting with the 2 stars. Stars also connect with Aquarius, by the way. So rejuvenation, wishes coming true. So yeah, if there is a desire to change your lifestyle, or change what you do every day, there could be some inspiration that comes through, and at first it can be like, okay, how do I even make that a reality? And that's exactly what the challenge is, sort of in between, because the magician is kind of working through that. Like, of course there are earthly resources, but then if it doesn't have a purpose, then what's the point of creating? And also, if you have a purpose but you don't have the resources, then again, what's the point of having the purpose? Both of them need to combine here, and that's what will eventually happen. But yeah, at first it can feel a little bit chaotic, but nonetheless it's all working out quite well for you. Especially, again, we talked about the lifestyle, career, hobbies, things like that are most impacted, but also your mental health, bringing more peace and stability within, finding more understanding, and so on. So pile 3's dreams. What are they telling pile 3? We have story. Again, the cinematography thingy coming up. So yeah, it could have been quite a story that went by really fast, or was quite dynamic, fleeting. There could have been some, this imagery is quite interesting, isn't it? It's like you can see the roots, but not really. It's kind of hovering in the sky. It's amusing. So different scenarios and settings like that could have shown up. Kind of look at the ebb and flow. It could be that you are story writers or creative thinkers, and this dream itself has a lot of inspiration for you. One more, please. For pile 3. Okay, we have pretend. Yeah, this is about acting and theater and things like that. Developing characters. And also acting as if you have something, in that way. So it acts as a manifestation, and I can't believe I didn't say this, but perhaps it was a way for your dreams to manifest your visions and goals. Okay? Because it can, in the mind, we are not limited by the conscious fears, right? The egoic fears. So we are then more free, more liberated to explore different options and try some reckless things here. So in pretending, we can also understand our limits and be sometimes surprised by what else we can achieve, things like that. So you could, let's say you want to be a writer. Let's just stick with that example. Let's say you want to be a writer, and you are pretending to be a writer in the dream, even though you're not in waking life. And that just shows you what a life as a writer could be like, right? That kind of opens up new inspirations and ideas for you. You could have seen a swan or a stork if you're looking at birds, because I didn't see much. Yeah, there's like no animals here for you. Yeah, so that could be, or fish, flowers, a lot of fire could have been a thing, with so much fire going on. Okay, I'm gonna roll one last time. Pile 3, anything else? We have Scorpio, 3rd house, and Neptune. Okay, mystery novels, maybe reading something, discovering something that is unusual and esoteric in nature, or psychic of sorts, because Neptune and 3rd house could talk about literal psychic visions, and Scorpio corresponds with the subconscious. So it's a subconscious mind's way of alerting you to communication that could be coming up, or new ideas that you're going to have, and to use this inspiration to create more transformation in your everyday world. 3rd house also talks about siblings and traveling someplace. There could be a short distance trip you're taking that is going to be very inspiring for you. A Knight of Wands can talk about travel too, so yeah, that's definitely possible. And pretend as well as moving someplace. Okay, so for some of you, it could be needed to move to a certain location to, let's say, pursue acting, or just to feel more independent and more inspired in general. Okay, so that's what I have for you, pile 3. Thank you so much for being here. I really hope the reading resonated and that it helps you out. Let me know your thoughts, and if you want a personal reading, you can reach me via Etsy. The link is in the description box in the comment below. I will see you some other time. Until then, take care. Bye. Hi pile 4, welcome to Ethernal Realms. Let's get into your dream interpretation. First, I'm going to get you some charms. It's been a while since I'm using this, so let's see what we get for you. Pile 4, please. What are the dreams telling them? Quite a few things here. So we have a heart, we have a horse, we have another horse. It's a rocking horse. I'm going to zoom in so you can see better. Yeah. Then we have a cactus that is flowering, reminds me of the strength. We have an all-purpose toolkit. We have a flower, looks like, I'm reminded of dahlias and chamomile. I don't think that's what it is named, but yeah, I'm getting those names. And we have a butter knife as well. So it talks about forward movement and it being a positive change that brings you more assets or resources. This can be about exiting difficult circumstances. Perhaps there have been some conflicts and differences in opinions, or the environment is simply not right for you at this time. In some capacity, it could be something related with what you want to be doing. It could just be your living space. It could be that you don't know who you can share your heart to, things like that. But either way, this conflict is now being resolved. With the rocking horse, it can feel like you are going back and forth in just one place, one step forward, one step back, things like that. So it felt quite stagnant for quite some time, but there is forward movement here. Could be a current circumstance, but also can be something related to the past. So any thought pattern that has just kept on rocking in one place and is just not leading to any growth or any new patterns, that is being shaken out and being transformed into something beneficial for you. Also, there's a lot of strength coming through with the cactus there, that even in the unlikely circumstances, you have done good and that you are blooming. Okay, and that you're going to have a lot more resources than you give the situation credit, and you will find out more on that down the line. So let's I'm just gonna get this deck here since I picked it up. So what are pile 4's dreams telling them? Pile 4's dreams. Okay, we have the Empress coming up. There could have been some nature, and again the same flower is coming out. I feel quite similar. And we have 10 of Pentacles, which is represented by a tree trunk and also symbolizes the family and the mother figure. There could have been a maternal figure there, and you were in an open space, something of that sort, or you are in nature. We have 2 of Swords, which talks about trying to make a decision but not being able to decide because there's too many factors to take into account. So again, the stalemate energy that the 2 of Swords represents is relating with the rocking horse there, and is indicating how there have been many thoughts and many rationalizations, pros and cons lists and so on, but somehow both the choices seem equally feasible or not feasible. This can be related with finding a home for yourself that you could be comfortable in and that you can really flourish. It can also be something related with ancestry and the maternal figures in your ancestry. This really is about the divine feminine when we have the Empress here. So there are messages of intuition that are going to help you out. It can be indicating trust your heart, trust the flow, go with it, things like that, and keep your mind open, because the Empress kind of creates the space so that something new can emerge. She kind of takes care that the soil has nutrients and that there is enough water and that everything is flowing correctly, but she's not trying to force the water to flow in a certain direction. She's not trying to force things to happen. It's just a natural inevitability of something, and she just makes sure that she is catering to these many different potentials that are there on earth. So it can be that what you are dreaming or what you're wanting to find is out there and it's possible. So there's no need to rock back and forth on that decision, and just go forward with a sharp-edged sword is what I'm hearing. It means kind of pierce through the veil of illusions, fears, indecision, things like that. Listen to your intuition and your heart. You can consult your family and your maternal figures to, help give you some more guidance, but the dream itself could have been a guidance of what you should do in that regard. It could be a little bit cryptic, so maybe look into the symbolism of the flowers that you found, because I'm seeing too many flowers here, or like natural things. For example, seas and waters, oceans, these things represent the subconscious and the emotional nature, also relates with the feminine energy. Meanwhile, the tree here represents steadiness, sturdiness, being focused, diligent, future oriented, and so on. So it could be asking you to reorient your visions towards your aspirations, your future goals, not to look at the past, not to be judging the future by our present perspective or circumstance, but instead keeping an open mind for the future, because it's yet to be written and everything is possible. Wow, okay, what else? Great. We have the star, and this talks about a wish being fulfilled, a dream being granted, and also relates with hopes, dreams, and aspirations for the life. So, it could be a dream to travel to a certain land, but, you feel restricted by your current circumstances, and you might already decide that, well, what's the point of dreaming? It's not even possible. But the message here for you is that it is possible. The sky is open. There are uncountable stars and so on, that are basically reaffirming your faith. And that's interesting. We see a lot of stars in this Ten of Pentacles card as well. So it can be that your ancestors are looking out for you, and that you're protected, and that you are not alone. So when you're making decisions, you can trust your intuition here. Two of Swords also says that you don't need to know each and everything about the future in order to make a choice right now. And we have Seven of Pentacles. Be patient with yourself. Take your time. No one's rushing you. We have many stars coming up once more. And whatever you decide, make sure that, you have faith in yourself. That does not mean that the decision has to be correct or wrong. There's no such definite thing here. It's sort of like it's your oyster. The world is literally your oyster, and you can charge forward in any direction that you choose to focus in, but not moving anywhere is going to be worse for you and for your future, because you are not fulfilled. And that's basically what your subconscious, your guides, your ancestors are trying to tell you anyway, that you are protected, you are safe, and that you can be successful. It's about focusing in on that direction and not stopping yourself. Seven of Pentacles also indicates that past hard work and difficult choices that you have made in the past and kind of questioned whether they would lead to something or not, that is starting to bear fruit. So you will see tangible results from some wish you have had, that it is coming about here. Ten of Pentacles can also talk about some family legacy, some reputation or status that you're trying to build here. It could be a wish of, it could be a generational thing. So your grandparents could have had this wish for the family and your parents passed it down to you, things like that. But yeah, that also can start showing results. Also talks about some financial gains coming through. So if that's something you've been wishing for, the block is being resolved through this dream. More abundance and fortune coming about. Okay. Pile 4, please. What are their dreams trying to tell them? One more. Okay, thank you. So the first card we have is the Two of Cups. That's quite nice. Again, presents a choice. Could be about people as well. The next card we have is Judgment. Wow. All right. And the third card we have is the Hermit. So self-awareness, guidance, some, again, ancestors could have come through, bringing you an epiphany or awakening. They're showing you the different scenarios that are possible for you. The Judgment, again, talks about liberation from your current limitations. So anywhere that you're feeling a block, it's about to become more harmonious this point on. So any conflicts you feel internally, externally, within relationships, that is being resolved, but it also comes from a state of self-empowerment and awareness. Okay, so you know where you stand and you are willing to stand up for yourself, but that does not mean that compromise is lost in the process. So it's a very nice blend of self-fortitude, but you're also very compassionate, and I think the right people are also extending the same thing to you. For some of you, it could have recently been a feeling of being left alone, or not having a family to talk to, or not having very close friends that you could relate with, not having a companion, things like that. And you have been wanting your tribe, or to reconnect with your family or your friends from the past, things like that. And that is also coming to a fruition, because we see relationship there. And whatever choices you've made that you're wondering if it is going to be fruitful or not, this says that you are in harmony, we are on the right path, and it will start showing results very soon. You're going to feel very happy deep down. Also, Hermit is about the sage, so you've learned a lot throughout your entire journey, this whole process. So even if you thought that you were rocking back and forth in one place and that you were completely stagnant, that stagnancy was absolutely not purposeless. There was a lot that you've learned, and you will take that with you this point on into any relationship, or into your career, into your lifestyle, into your family relationships, anything really. This is a tool in your toolkit, which we see here with the all-purpose tool as well. How to make clear decisions, how to be able to, execute it properly as well. So it's not just about, deciding to fire someone, let's say, but there needs to be a tact in how you deliver that message as well. So using your sword with tact, that's what I hear. The power of your mind and the power of your speech. You are learning to wield that, or you have learned that, and that is going to be your forte down the line. Integration as well, so there is a recognition of your fears and insecurities. You also are aware of your flaws, but you are moving ahead nonetheless towards something that you know is purposeful. This Judgment card is so powerful, and in the book the perspective is that someone else is delivering judgment, but in this particular case, because we have the Hermit and it's basically pointing to this, it kind of speaks as though you and your spirit are in harmony, in that you make friends with the shadows here and you are empowered by it. Therefore, the sturdy tree trunk, anything related with earth that you saw, natural, like you saw the flowers, let's say, trees, treetops, trunks, harvest, things like that, they're all showing a lot of strength and resilience that you have built, the skills and the nutrition, the nutrients that you have, the resources you have, that are going to lead to years and years and generational levels of prosperity in one way or the other. These are like really big cards, so I would say that it's a major theme. It's already been acting out, I feel, because the Two of Swords feels like a present situation or a recent past. But there's a lot of healing going on here, reconnection with lost relationships, if that is, again, meant for you in your best interest. But either way, there is a sense of reconciliation and understanding from your side of, who belongs where, who's your family, who's not, who's your friends, who's not, and who you are specifically, what type of partner you want, what you want to be doing, how you want to be expressing yourself, what you want your income source to be, how you can move towards your vision. There's like various topics, but it depends on, what your individual focus is in life at this time. So yeah, apply that as it resonates. Pile 4, please. What else can you know? We have Neptune, Cancer, and the first house. You're finding your home and family in yourself. There is wow, that's a very strong message. So meeting your spiritual family, your spiritual tribe, and feeling home with them, that could be a theme of your dream as well. You could have met some people in your dream. Someone related with ancestry, that's possible. Okay, what else? Pile 4's dreams. I'm not going to take that, let it fall. Yes, okay. We have Dawn and Pareidolia. So Dawn talks about a new beginning, and the other one is about seeing faces in unlikely spaces. So you might not have thought about this ancestor or this friend or this person that you were talking with or you saw in your dream, but suddenly it kind of comes up and you're reminded of this person. It could be a long lost relatives as well. You might not consciously recognize them, but it's somehow there in the unconscious mind, and it just happened to pass through. This is a very fluid mind, so I'm not surprised that we have so much spiritual influence going on, because when let's call it a veil, when the veil of the mind is so thin, then the spirit, the unconscious, and the higher realms are able to communicate, and that does not happen in each and every dream. Usually it's about the subconscious kind of processing everyday thoughts, and that's when we have a lot of gibberish and it just does not leave much impact, or we tend to forget those dreams, things like that. But when we have more profound dreams like this, because we have like 1, 2, 3, and 4 major arcana here, so those are big themes and big messages that are coming through, right? Those things are not forgettable for a reason, and there is a bigger message to it. So you could have seen like weird things here and there, like a fish flying or something like that, which is just impossible. I say that because we see literally a fish flying over there, but that's possible too. But take note of the elements. Fish belongs in the water, but it is in air. So the emotions you are thinking about, the air corresponds with thought and communication. It can be talking about expressing your feelings and communicating that with someone else, so that everything is kind of clearer. You get another opinion or another perspective on the same thing, and that kind of helps resolve things. You can also find a middle ground of sorts. If you have a certain idea, this person has something else, you can make something new out of it. Yeah, it shows a lot of new potential, absolutely. 10 of Pentacles, everything over here is like really rich with potential. Some of you could, in this dream, could have been pregnant or wanting a family, having a family, things like that. Because we have Empress, the Great Mother, and the 10 of Pentacles, family. Okay, so that could have been a theme. But again, you could have seen like your great-grandmother or something, somewhere like on a mountain, let's say. So it is important to ask what this relationship means to you through the dream or through your waking life, and then look at mountain as a specific thing. So we have to combine like different pieces of information and bring that as a cohesive whole. But either way, there's like a crossing of threshold or mixing of elements, and there is a lot more healing and alchemy going on there, which kind of leads to a lot more opportunities for you. It can feel quite... with the Neptune, it can feel quite illusory and dreamy and imaginative and does not really make sense. But when you look into it and kind of look at what the literal symbolism might mean, like the horse is about speed, acting efficiently, but also productively, and taking your natural rhythm with all the natural settings that we have in your reading, things like that, it'll give you a lot more of a cohesive picture. So whatever you remember, maybe search about that as well. We have 2 and 2 coming up. Yeah, we talked about that. Choices, 3, 7. Okay, so no other synchronicities. That's what I have for you, Pile 4. Thank you so much for being here. I really hope the reading resonated and that it helps you out. Let me know your thoughts, and if you want a personal reading, you can reach me via Etsy. The link is in the description box in the comment below. I will see you some other time. Until then, take care. Bye.